A very good evening to all of you, my dear students. Welcome back to the class once again, and welcome back to the channel as well. So we are going to today start and discuss the chapter, one of the chapter of history, that is forest society and colonialism. And why I'm starting this chapter, as it is directly connected from one of the chapter in your grade 10, that is nationalism in India. We are going to learn a lot about this chapter as well in that chapter. So that's why I'm going to start this one, so that it is beneficial for you, and it will help you to understand that chapter especially in a very good way. So that's why this has been selected by me. And the name of the chapter, as you know, Forest Society and Colonialism. The name of the chapter consists of three words: forest, society, and colonialism. I hope that you all are familiar with the word forest, with the word society, but you might not be familiar with the word colonialism. So let us go through with this word. Forest, you know, society, you know, and what it means. The new word is the colonialism. So let us go through that particular word as well, my dear students. Here comes the meaning. It is a type of practice where a powerful country, I'm saying powerful country, takes full control over a weaker country. A weaker country means a country who is not having a strong defense system, especially a country which will not have a strong defense system, which will not have atomic power, atomic bombs as well, nuclear power. Then in these days, those countries are regarded as a weaker country. Without having large army or nuclear power, they are considered as weaker country. And what others powerful country will try to take over, will try to have full control over that weaker country, so that they can take the benefit of the resources which are available in that weaker country. Every country, everywhere we have resources, such as metals, minerals, mountains, rivers. Everywhere we can find resources, and it can be really used. So when a powerful country takes full control over a weaker country, that particular situation is known as colonialism. And we have faced in our country, we have faced this because Britishers, they colonized, they were taking full control of our country. And at that time, yes, it was, our country was very weak, and that's why Britishers, they have captured our country, and we were under colonialism more than 100 years, so around 100 years, I think. So let us begin with the name of the chapter as well. We have got, and I hope that you have got the word colonialism. It is a type of practice, or it is a type of situation where a powerful country can take full control over a weaker country. And one of the greatest example is that we have faced in our country, that Britishers, they have captured our country, and they were having full control over our country, and that is British colonialism in India. So let us see, we will go through everything. So my first question is to you all, that look around in the class, but you are obviously not in the class in a physical way, but you are all at your home. So look around you and find out the things which have been made with the forest products. Find out the things which have been made of with the forest product. Means whatever thing you will find which is made up of wood, you can regard it as a forest product. So there might be benches, and there might be tables there at your home, furniture work is there, and even cupboard may be there. And you can write the name of those things in the chat, write it there as well. So a very good reply I got from my students, that most of the things have been made in their house are made up of forest products. What are the things that we get from forest? Now, who can tell me? A lot of things, even fruits and vegetables we can get from the forest. Yes, Roshni is correct. Even Ravi Raj wants to say something. Let me include his voice also in. Wait, let me unmute you, Ravi. Yeah.
Sir, these are gum, honey, coffee, tea, rubber, etc.
Okay. Very good, Ravi Raj. You have given me a really very good reply, that what are the things that we get from forest. So let us go through what is a forest and what are the things available in a forest. So if someone will ask you the definition, what is a forest, then it's quite simple, that it is a large area covered chiefly with trees. and undergrowth. So that is okay, that it is covered with trees. But what is that word undergrowth? So I have got a picture also, image also, so that you can understand by the word undergrowth. You can see this is known as undergrowth, means dense trees having very dense format over here. The trees on others trees and very densely they are populated, the trees. So that is known as undergrowth as well. So a forest is a large area which is covered with chiefly with the trees and undergrowth. So we can identify these are the things. You can see these are the things which are available in forest, and maybe many things have been left also by me, and even your in your book also, because that list will be really a very large and long list, you know, what we get from the forest. Even from the very back, you can say medieval period, people were using, the people were using the forest for their livelihood as well. A very important resource which gives us honey. Resource. Now here comes the word resource over here. Yes, even tea leaves we get from the forest. So let us go through the word resource. You can see a stock or supply of money, materials, staff, and other assets. So it is a supply of what materials. Forest is a supply, is a place where from where we get the supply of materials like this, that we will go through, or any other assets that they are known as resources. So it can be drawn by a person or organization in order to function effectively. So forests are handled by the government, and government officers are there, forest officers are there, who used to handle all the things over there in the forest as well. So it is a very important resource for all of us, which gives us these things: honey, okay, coffee, spices, many type of spices. I can't tell you the names of all the spices. Tendu leaf. Now, what is that tendu leaf? Let me show you. These are the tendu leaves, which are used to make some things like I will tell you in later on. Tendu leaf in BDs. Now, do you know anyone about these BDs? What are all these? Have you ever seen anyone? Can tell me about the BDs? Have you ever seen this one? If not, then I will show you. So tendu leaves are used in the making of BDs. Yeah, Aditya Singh want to say something. I think he might have seen. Aditya Singh, where is he? Raise your hand once again, my dear. Yeah.
Sir, I have seen this with the smokers.
Yes, the smokers used to use this type of BDs to smoke, and they get something. I don't know what they get. Yeah, let me show you the thing. Okay, this one. These are known as BDs. So these BDs are made up of the leaves which are also found in the forest, known as tendu leaves. So this is like cigarette. I think this is used for smoking, and this the poor people, they used to smoke this one. So tendu leaf that we also get from forest, which is used in making of BDs. Even we can get gum, honey, coffee is written twice. I think honey also written twice. Tea, rubber, the oil in the chocolates. And the chocolates are made up of some oil, and that oil can also be obtained from sal seeds. है ना, sal के seeds से वो oil निकलता है, और वो that oil is used in the chocolates. You can see these sal seeds. These are used for making the chocolates, by crushing this, and they get the oil. And even the tannin is used to convert skins and hides into leather. So the tannin is a product, you can say over here, a yellowish or brownish, bitter tasting, don't taste it, it is bitter. So it is of which color? Yellow or brown color. It is an organic substance which is present in some galls or barks of some other plants, or tissues, consisting of derivatives of gallic acid. So that is quite learning, like we are learning chemistry, we are learning. So it is a type of material which is used to convert. That is a material, that is an organic substance which is used to convert the skins or the hides of the animals into a leather form. So that is the thing also we get from forest. So yes, a leather which is taken from the animal skin. Yes, of course, I'm talking about that only. I'm talking about the skins or hides of the animals, which we use it to make change it into a leather form, and after changing it into leather, we can make several products, like shoes, like bags, and leather bags, and even leather jackets. So those are also made with the help of this particular leather. And leather we used to get from the animal's skin, but animal skin need to be converted into leather, and for converting them into leather, this particular organic material is used, which is known as tannin, and which is often from the bark of many trees. Another thing, you can see many herbs, even roots, are also used for medicinal purposes. Ayurvedic medicines especially, they used to make Ayurvedic medicines from the herbs and the roots of various trees which are available in the forest. One have to have a very good knowledge about the trees and the herbs and the roots, so that it can be used for the good purpose for making medicines as well. So these are few of the things. Let us see more. Forest also provide bamboo, wood for fuel, means people in the village side almost nowadays also they use wood for fuel, or as a fuel, you can say, for cooking purpose, or even in the winter season as well, they use the wood as a fuel. Even we can get grass, even we can get charcoal also. Let me show you the charcoal, my dear students. Here we can get it from the forest, these charcoals also. Even many fruits and vegetables, flowers, even different type of flowers, and many other things we get from forest. So we can really, you should have imagined that how really it is good. The forests are providing a lot of things, and in spite of all this, various species of animals and a different type of animals that you might have not seen in your life. Whenever you will visit the forest, then only you can see those animals which are never seen in towns and cities. So various species of animals, means cat, you will find different type of cats, tigers, lions, different type of shape and sizes and colors. So even different type of fish, birds, everything you will find in this forest. So it is full of resources. It is full of resources, that I'm saying. So that's why it is very important to save our forest, so that we can really use it in an efficient manner and for the welfare of the human being only. We should not destroy the forest. We should use it. Yes, we have to use it also, but not destroy it. Suppose you can collect the leaf, you can collect the fruits, or which have fallen down from the trees, or which are ready to be eaten, then only. But you should not cut the trees to make the area available for what? For agriculture purpose, or for making apartments, or living, or making, or turning forests into cities. Then it is really bad for us. It will really be harmful for the human being. So let us see what else we have to discuss in the chapter. A lot of things we have got that we used to get from the forest. If something is left, then please add it on. Now we will have to learn about the period of industrialization. So period of industrialization, that is really started from the 17th century. You can see 1700 to 1995. That was really a period of industrialization. It means a lot of new industries have been started in India and throughout the world as well. Not only in India, but throughout the world. This was the time when there was a period of industrialization. People were setting up industries after industries. And let us see whether it is good for the forest or bad one. 13.9 million square kilometer of forest, or you can see 9.3% of the world's total area, was cleared for industrial uses, was cleared for cultivation, was cleared for pastures and fuel wood also. You can see the meaning of the pastures over here. Land covered with grass and other low plants which are suitable for grazing animals, है ना. भेड़ बकरी को चराने के लिए भी लोगों ने forest को तबाह किया. They have destroyed the forest. They have cleared the forest, especially cattle, sheep, उनके लिए pastures बनाने के लिए. So 13.9 million square kilometer, that is huge, my dear. 13.9 million square kilometer, or you can see it is written in percentage also. 9.3% of the world's total area. यानी total world में अगर 100 किलोमीटर है तो 9.3 किलोमीटर have been cleared in this area for these purposes. For what? Industrial uses, for cultivation purpose, for creating pastures for the cattle and sheep, and even for using the wood as fuel. So that is huge percentage, my dear. That is huge, really huge. You can see there is one more stats over here available. In the year 1600, approximately 1/6 of India's total land was under cultivation. 1/6. Let me give you one example. That suppose if the total land mass of a particular area is 600. Okay, suppose it is 600. Then 1/6 was under cultivation. It means that 100 kilometer. Out of those 600 kilometer, 1/6 you will take out, that will be 100 kilometer. So in 1600, 100 kilometer only was used out of 600 kilometer under cultivation. Now that figure has gone up to about half. Means out of those 600 kilometer, now 300 kilometer areas are now being used for cultivation. It means 200 kilometer more areas have been converted from forest to agriculture field. It means 200 kilometer area of forest have been deforested. Deforestation was there. Forest was converted into cultivation area. Forest was cultivated into what? Agriculture field. So that really happened in the year between 1700 to 1995. That 1/6 of India's was under the control of the cultivation, but now it changes to about into half. Half of the area of the total India, the total landmass of our country was converted into cultivation area. So that is really, we have to think over here that why we are converting those things, were this so useful for us. That's why I have discussed the things that we are getting from forest nowadays. We used to get products from the forest, and that's why only after going through that you would be able to imagine that how important forests are for all of us. But what we people are doing, we are converting them. And one more thing I would like to add up over here, that we are taking away the shelter, the house of the wild animals as well. Once they will lose their forest, they will come into the cities. And you might have seen one movie also, that is a cartoon movie. I don't remember the name, but it was really shown a very good thing over there, that what will happen if the wild animals will come to the forest, will come to the towns and cities. What will happen really? They are quite in large number. You can't kill all of them. Really, it will be very difficult. So I'm again pausing as well. Okay, so we are going to discuss this topic of the chapter, deforestation and its causes. So number one, so first of all, we will have to understand the word deforestation, and that is quite easy, my dear students. The action of clearing a wide area of trees, that is deforestation. We are going, means someone is going to clear a wide area of trees in the forest, that is known as deforestation. Let us see why and what are the causes of deforestation. I can't include all the causes. There are many other causes of deforestation, but let us discuss few of them. Number one, population. That population is one of the most important and very you can say decisive over here for clearing the forest. As population has increased over the centuries, the demand for wood has gone up. So peasants extended their boundaries. The farmers have extended their boundaries. And they extended means what? They increased their land. They increased the land where they used to cultivate. So for increasing the land, what they will do? They will destroy the forest. They will cut down the trees, and they will turn those spaces into cultivation area, into fields where they can grow the crops to meet up to make up or to meet up the demand of the food that is rising up day by day. The boundaries of cultivation and extending the boundaries of cultivation, even clearing forests and breaking new lands, and they are just creating new lands for cultivation purpose. And for why they are doing that? Because of this population which is going on, turning into thousands and lakhs and crores and millions. My God. Next, the reason is demand of commercial crops. That is also one of the thing, that farmers are not only growing the crops for eating purpose also, for selling it also, for commercial purpose, for trading also. When something is demanded in another countries or some other place, then they used to grow such thing which can be sold out. So Britishers, as India was under the Britishers in those time, um, so Britishers wanted commercial crops like jute, sugar, wheat and cotton. These are the four important crops that there was a demand of these crops: jute, sugar, wheat and cotton. So high demand of these commercial crops in Europe, and these were the demand not only in India. It was not the demand of India, it was the demand which is there in Europe. But the Britishers wanted all these things from India so that they can get it at free of cost, because they don't have to pay tax to anyone. They are having colonized and they have been controlling India. So they thought that let us use the resources of this country at free, because it is available free of cost. So high demand of these commercial crops in Europe during 19th century, as these were the raw materials for many industries. You can see over here, jute can be used for making bags and even many other products also. Even sugar can be used in chocolates, in different type of biscuits and different cakes. Even wheat can be used for many other purposes in, and even cotton for maybe used for making different type of clothes. So these were the raw materials which were required in Europe in many of the industries. So these Britishers were taking these things from our country. They were asking the farmers to grow all these commercial crops in the country. And for what? For growing these crops, they were just extending the land, increasing the land and converting forests into fields. Even there was a need of food grains as well to feed the urban population. शहर में लोग जो रहते हैं, they are not growing anything in the towns or in the cities. So there is also a requirement from the urban population that they require food to eat from the village side or from the farmers. So that is also one of the reason population is again coming over here. And one more thing, Britishers were taking forest as, or thinking about forest as unproductive. ब्रिटिशर्स को लगता था कि फॉरेस्ट बेकार सी चीज है, जितना चाहे उसको इस्तेमाल कर लेना चाहिए, है ना. Let us use all the things which are available in the forest and then turn it into different places, turn it into cultivation land or turn it into towns and cities. Let us do that. They were thinking about this. So the colonial state, yeah. So Britishers were considering this forest as unproductive. The colonial state thought that the forests were unproductive, and they turned forests into what? Agricultural land, to get agricultural products, and even for generating revenue, na paisa kamane ke liye bhi, they were turning the forest into agricultural land so that they can get the agricultural products. So between 1880 and 1920, in these 40 years, the cultivated area rose by 6.7 million hectares. One hectare, 10,000, I think 10,000 kilometer. So 1 hectare means 10,000. So that it means that cultivated area rose by 6.7 million hectares at that time. So that is a great increase in the cultivation land. Let us see the third reason, my dear students. Fourth one, export of timber from India. In the early 19th century, oak forest of England was disappearing because the England was having their oak forest. This is the oak forest, one of the image from there. So these forests were just disappearing, means they have used their forest and it was going to disappear after a few years. So when they captured India, when they were having full control on India, they have thought, okay, let us leave our forests, let it be grow again. For the time being, let us use the forest of India. So what they started, because oak forest of England was disappearing, which created a problem for them. They were not getting the timber. Timber means hardwood for supply of the Royal Navy, for making the ships for the royal soldiers. For the Royal Navy soldiers, they required ships, and to make ships they required what? Hardwood, that is known as timber, also timber. So within a decade, 10 साल के अंदर, trees were being felled on a massive scale in India, and vast quantities of timber were being exported from India to England. India से England, they were destroying the forest of India and they were using the timber of our forest for their own purpose only. Now the next one is the spread of the railways. From 1850s, you can see a new demand of expanding the railways were essential, were coming into the because they wanted to move their troops, soldiers from one place to another place very quickly to handle all the type of protests that were going on in India at that time. So what wood was needed as fuel to run the locomotives as well. है ना, लकड़ी उनको क्या चीज चाहिए रेलवे को चलाने के लिए, है ना, इंजन को मूव करने के. They need fuel, they need wood as fuel, even they need sleepers also to increase the tracks. आज आप उस जमाने में देखेंगे they were using the tracks which were made of wood, but nowadays the tracks are being made of cement. But at that time you can see 1.6 kilometer, if you want to extend the track by 1.6 kilometer each mile, a railway track, it requires around 1760 to 2000 sleepers. That is known as the sleepers. Let me show you the sleepers. These are the sleepers, which were being used at that time to make the tracks. So one tree can make only one tree can give you only 3 to 5 sleepers. तो आप समझ लो 1 माइल यानी 1.6 किलोमीटर के लिए कितने स्लीपर्स चाहिए? 2000 sleepers. And one tree can only give you 5 sleepers, है ना, अगर मान लेते हैं 5 sleepers में, तो it means that if you will divide 2000 by 5, it means 400 trees have to be cut down to extend the kilometer 1.6 kilometer of railway track. So it is huge, my dear. 400 trees. Yes, Ravi Raj is good, right? Another thing is what? Plantation. That is another reason for growing coffee, rubber plantation. They were clearing the forest and they were selling it to the European people, and even the colonial government give the forest to the European plantation at cheap rate also, and lease में उन्होंने दे दिया. Okay, so plantation is a last point over here, and that is all in this class, my dear students. Hope you will meet again tomorrow.